This is part 2. Again, it is April the 6th, 2019. I'm a Hebrew Muslim. My nationality is Moorish American. I'll be reading the Holy Quran, Circle 7, Chapter 21. Marriage instructions for man and wife from the Noble Prophet. Give ear, fair daughter of love, to the instructions of prudence, and let the precepts of truth sink deep in thy heart. So shall the charms of thy mind add luster to the elegance of thy form, and thy beauty, like the rose it resembleth, shall retain its sweetness. When its bloom is withered, in the spring of thy youth, in the morning of thy days, when the eyes of men gaze at thee with delight, and nature whispereth in thine ear the meaning of their looks. Ah, hear with caution their seducing words. Guard well thy heart, nor listen to their soft persuasions. Remember thou art made man's reasonable companion, not the slave of his passions. And the end of thy being is not merely to gratify his loose desires, but to assist him in the toils of life, to soothe his heart for thy tenderness, and recompense his care with soft endearments. Who is she that winneth the heart of man, that subdueth him to love, and reigneth in his breast? Lo yonder, she walketh the maiden sweetness, with innocence in her mind, and modesty on her cheek. Her hand seeketh employment, her foot delighteth not in gadding abroad. She is clothed with neatness, she is fed with temperance. Humility and meekness are as a crown of glory cycling her head. On her tongue dwelleth music, the sweetness of honey floweth from her lips. Decency is in all her words. In her answers are mildness and truth. Submission and obedience are the lessons of her life, and peace and happiness are her reward. Before her steps walketh prudence, and virtue attendeth at her right hand. Her eye speaketh softness and love, but discretion with a scepter sitteth on her brow. The tongue of the licentious is dumb in her presence. The awe of her virtue keepeth him silent. When scandal is busy, and the fame of her neighbors is tossed from tongue to tongue. With charity and good nature open not her mouth, and the finger of silence resteth on her lips. The breast is the mansion of goodness, and therefore she suspecteth no evil of others. Happy were the man that should make her his wife. Happy the child that should call her mother. He resideth in the house, and there is peace. She commandeth with judgment, and is obeyed. She ariseth in the morning, she considereth her affairs, and appointeth to every one their proper business. Take care of her family. The care of her family is her whole delight. To that alone she applieth her study, and elegance with frugality is seen in her mansion. The prudence of her management is an honor to her husband. He heareth her praise with a secret delight. She informeth the minds of her children with wisdom. She fashioneth their manners from the examples of her own goodness. The words of her mouth is the law of their youth. The motion of her eye commandeth their obedience. She speaketh, and the servants fly. She pointeth, and the thing is done. For the law of love is in their hearts, and her kindness addeth wings to their feet. In prosperity she is not puffed up. In adversity she healeth the wounds of fortune with patience. The troubles of her husband are alleviated by her counsels, is sweetened by her endearments. He putteth his heart in her bosom, and receiveth comfort. Happy is the man that has made her his wife. Happy is the child that call her mother. Chapter 22. Duty of a husband. Take unto thyself a wife, and obey the ordinance.
Are they in the next one in your sequence?
Yep. Take unto thyself a wife that obey the ordinance of Allah. Take unto thyself a wife and become a faithful member of society. But examine with care.
Hold on. Islam. As my son read this, Islam, I send a divine prayer to the universe, Allah, and at my ancestors, Allah. Thank you, Allah, for protecting Mighty Great Arrington-Bey's mind, soul, and spirit from unclean spirits, whether they be female or male. Allah, thank you for sending him, the divine, righteous, soulful, Moorish woman, Allah, free and white in purity through her spirit, through her soul, and that divine energies in the divine energies of righteousness, the 99 attributes of Allah. Thank you, Allah, for sending Mighty Great Arrington-Bey, this beautiful, Moorish, loving, soulful woman, Allah, respectful to her covenant to Allah, Allah. Thank you, Allah, for holding him, keeping him, and protecting him until the day comes for him to meet her. Thank you, Allah, for Mighty Great Arrington-Bey, Allah, working on himself, raising his frequency, having understanding of those attributes, those 99 attributes of Allah, his highest self, Allah, have understanding of the covenant to you, Allah, the covenant to the universe, Allah, to the spirit, Allah, to the wisdom, the nature of Allah, so that he may be ready for this woman, this Moorish woman, Allah, who also have been working on herself in the same divine manner. Islam. Ameen.
Take unto thyself a wife and obey the ordinance of Allah. Take unto thyself a wife and become a faithful member of society. But examine with care and fix not suddenly. On thy present choice depends thy future happiness. If much of her time is destroyed in dress and adornment, if she is enamored with her own beauty and delighted with her own praise, if she laughed much and talked loud, if her foot abideth not in her father's house, and her eyes with boldness rove on the faces of men, though her beauty were as the sun in the firmament of heaven, turn thy face from her charms, turn thy feet from her paths, and suffer not thy soul to be ensnared by the allurements of imagination. But when thou findest sensibility of heart, joined with softness of manners, and accomplished mind with a form agreeable to thy fancy, take her home to thy house. She is worthy to be thy friend, thy companion in life, the wife of thy bosom. O cherish her as a blessing sent to thee from heaven. Let the kindness of thy behavior endear thee to her heart. She is the mistress of thy house. Treat her therefore with respect, that thy servants may obey her. Oppose not her inclination without cause. She is the partner of thy cares. Make her also the companion of thy pleasures. Reprove her faults with gentleness. Exact not obedience of rigor. Trust thy secrets in her breast. Her counsels are sincere. Thou shalt not be deceived. Be faithful to her bed, and she is mother, for she is mother in thy children. When pain and sickness assault her, let thy tenderness soothe her affliction. A look from thee of pity and love shall alleviate her grief, or instigate her pain, and be of more avail than 10 physicians. Consider the tenderness of her sex, the delicacy of her frame, and be not severe to her weakness, but remember thine own imperfections. Islam, that will be all I'm reading today. Today, again, is April the 6th, 2019. I am Imam Arrington-Bey, the Moorish Muslim. My nationality is Moorish American. Islam.